Hey, yeah, welcome to our very first episode of the IBGFX live streaming sessions. So this is just going to be a little bit more like an introduction. Um, so first of all, I'm going to be your guider throughout this sessions. My name is Ishak Abubakar. I'm going to be your guider, and then I'm the founder and CEO of IBGFX. So what we intend to achieve with IBGFX is, of course, to give you access to our trading indicators and signals so that trading can become easy for you. The main goal here is to let you be more efficient in your trading and your executions so that you can just focus on really how to make money trading instead of spending too much time in learning trading terminologies and all those things. And as I speaking, like we don't do it like that. So by following these tutorials, you are going to learn how to trade efficiently, how to make use of our indicators. You are going to see how good our indicators are or how bad our indicators are. These videos are for educational purposes, and then mostly we're gonna be using tutorial demo accounts because like I said, they are for educational purposes only. Now I'm going to be using mainly two things. First thing I'm going to be using is going to be the trade view screen to help you understand how to make trading analysis efficiently. And then of course the second thing I'm going to be using mostly is going to be let me close this one. The second thing I'm going to be using mostly is going to be our MetaTrader 5. Inside MetaTrader 5, that is where our indicators are, and that is where we are going to be executing much of our trades. Okay, now forgive me, today I'm not able to show my face, and that is because like I said, this is more like a testing mic. You understand? Yeah, so this is more like a testing mic to see how this setup is going to look like or going to work. And of course, the day two is going to be more efficient because I'm going to have my camera hooked up and I'm going to guide you guys on how to trade alongside me. And probably by the time we get to day let's see, day 10 of our trading, we can also look at how you can get access to our indicators. Okay, so the reason why I'm waiting until day 10 is I don't want to come and make noise here or come and market myself as in I'm selling this or I'm selling that here. No, that is not why we are here. um I want to show you this working, so at least let's say about 10 days or 10 trading days with you to see that yeah, this is working as intended, so that you know whatever you are purchasing and you know how to use whatever you are purchasing, because it's one purchasing the indicator is one thing, and then knowing how to use it is another thing. So this is our trading window. I'm going to be trading a couple of different things, such as synthetics like boom and crash, volatility. I'm going to also be trading forex, such as USD, GBP, and all those other things. I'm going to be trading both of a couple of things. Mostly, I'm going to try to keep these videos between 1 hour to 2 hours maximum. Yeah, because I want to keep it short. You understand? Also, this is going to be happening regularly on weekly basis. So make sure you are subscribed to the channel, you like and you follow us on all other social media platforms so that anytime we are going live, you get notified so that you can come and join. Why should you watch this live? Okay, um, first of all, we want to help you build up on your discipline as a trader, how to be more disciplined and efficient, because the key factor of success as a trader is how disciplined you are. Excuse me. The main reason why a lot of people lose money in trading is because of indiscipline. You could see somebody that has learned a lot about trading. They know in and out of everything. They know these are the candlesticks. They know these are the warnings and everything, but they still keep losing because of what? They lack the discipline. And at IBGFX, we don't want to trade blindly because humans can make mistake. Okay, so we have put together a lot of a couple of things that can help and guide you understand where to enter trade, where to not enter trade, which kind of direction you should take in all those things, because as a human being you can really get it wrong in most cases. So these are what you are seeing here in our indicator example. You can see here it marked it as red as a proven resistance. So when you are buying in this market, we are trying to tell you that by the time you are getting in this point, you should really take your profits. Because, and if you want to do sell stop or sell limit, sorry, you can now start to put your sell limit orders here so that when the market reverses, it will start selling with you. Okay, yeah. So if you want to sell when it gets here, you know that okay, it's gonna come down because of a couple of things. Like our indicator have seen that whenever the market gets to this point, it always reverses. Okay, now this is a proven resistance. We have support. You can see this is a weak support. Okay, it created just the first one. If it comes back here, it will test the support. It will test the support. If it's locked in here, you can see here we have untested support at the back. You can see we have untested support down here. So if it's locked in that, it will also guide you. So I don't want to kill you with too much of this, so let's just dive into me trading and you see how I'm going to use indicator so that when we meet at the day 2, when I have my camera connected, we can really get to know more about each other and do this better, you understand. So first of all, I'm using Deriv. The reason why I use Deriv.com, let's go to Deriv.com quickly. The reason why I use Deriv.com is because they have access to the synthetics I need, such as the boom and crash and the volatility. So if you don't have an account with Deriv and you want to follow us, I would advise you sign up with Deriv.com. I don't know if Deriv is doing any referral, like I will give you my referral link, but if I find it, I will post it in the second day, right? So sign up with Deriv.com, get an account, start with the demo account, and then you will enjoy, or yeah, you will enjoy whatever we are coming to do. Now I am looking at, let's say, trade view. We have different kind of commodities, right? Really my focus today is on the forex, which are the currency pairs. That's where my focus is. So we have the big three: euro, USD, GBP, USD, and USD and JP or JPY. Now I can trade any of this honestly, but I have to look at what or where the market is going or how the market is behaving, right? So in here we have something we call time frames. Now you can see that the time frame I have, the candlesticks, right? The candlesticks are the time frame, like how many minutes of candlestick or per each candlestick. That's the candlestick time frame, and then we have the window frame as well. Now if I go in here at the bottom, these are window frames. This gives me the entire timeline or intervals that I want to view. You understand? So at the moment, I think I'm in the, I think 5 days. I think let's just focus on 1 day. So let's say we go to 1 day. So this just gives you a full view of whatever happened within the day. Okay. Now, how about my candlestick? You can see here it says 1 minute. It means that every candlestick that we view here is a 1 minute candlestick. Let me go to the recent. Sorry. Every candlestick you see here, it means that it's a 1 minute candlestick. Every candlestick. Now if you are completely new, you may be wondering what is a candlestick, and that, let me give you a short disclaimer. The goal of these tutorials or the goal of this live streaming is really not to teach you what trading is. No, we just want to trade together. We assume you already know. So it's very advisable and important for you to go and watch other trading tutorials to learn all these terminologies about trading, like the candlesticks, the sell stop, sell limit, buy limit, stop loss, take profit, and all those things. It's important you go and watch those videos and learn those things, because I am not going to go into the details when it comes to this ones. Okay, now let's get back to it. Let's get back to this. So each candlestick, each one of these blue or red line or bars are called candlesticks. Okay, so each candlestick here represent a minute. So if you want to change, let's say we want to work with, let's say 5 minutes. So once you select 5, it means that each candlestick right now is a 5-minute timeline. So I'm looking at my trade view chart for the GBP USD, and I can see, well, the first thing I'm going to always do is to determine the low and then the high. So example, I will try to take 1 week first of all, right? So let's say we take 1 week. You may be surprised, you may be wondering that, well, if I have an indicator, why do I do all these things? Like I said, one of the goal is to also make you become disciplined. So there are some certain rituals that we're going to be performing together. Now, the ritual number 1 for me is to determine the highest in the last 5 days, and of course, the lowest points as well. So you can actually see this one. I put them last time, so let me remove them because I don't need these ones. So I'm just marking my highest and lowest points in the last 5 days, right? And this is what I have, and the new high and then the new low. So the newest high we have so far, it seems to be around this point, and the newest low we have, I can say, I wouldn't take this, let me take this, it seems to be around this point. So now that we've determined, it means that anytime I'm approaching any of these blue lines that I have marked, I am going to be careful with whatever decisions I'm going to make. These are just going to save like little reminders for you. You understand as you follow in our other trading sessions. You understand why these are important. So I'm looking at my market. It's just tumbling up and down around this corner, right? But then it seems like when it got to this point, the recent time it got to that point, the market, so I'm going to mark that point. It seems that when the market got to that point, the market sort of let's say corrected itself back up. Okay. So when it got to this point, the market corrected itself back up, and now it got to this point, it's also corrected itself back up again. It's going upwards. So what am I looking at right now is, I don't like these lines. I don't want to mess up with the lines. You might get confused. So let's look at our buy. I'm looking for the buy or sell. Let's see buy. Anyways, let's use emojis. So icons. All right. Let's look for up and down. So I was talking about here. When the market got here, you can see that it's retracted back upwards. So I'm just keeping notice of that. And of course, when it got to here, you see it's almost the same point. So this same point, it tried to went back up and then it is pulling back, but it's not going in an upward direction. So I'm just paying attention. So for me, what do I understand by this market? For me, I can say by looking at it, I would say that okay, it's more like a tug of war between the bull and the bears right now, because we have the people selling and then we have those buying, so it's mixed. So there is no clear direction that the market is going. What do I mean by clear direction? Let me show you clear direction. You see from here to here, this is a clear direction of where the market is going. This is a clear direction. It just looks like the market is going in an upward direction, right? Let's change the candlestick into, let's say we take 1 day candlestick. Let me give you a better understanding of what I meant by clear direction. So in this our case, every candlestick represented a day. So clear direction here will be from here to here. How many candlesticks do you see here? So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Almost like 2 weeks of trading in the GBP USD. It went in the downward trend for almost like a period of 2 weeks. That is what we call clear direction. Now we know the direction the market was going. It's going from the top to the down, so it's selling, right? So this is a typical example of a clear direction. Also, don't forget that every candlestick represented here, right? So from here to here is also another clear direction of a upwards trend of almost like, let's say, 2 weeks. Same thing with this. It's almost like 2 weeks of buying. So this is what I mean by clear direction. Now, looking at our weekly looking at our daily candlesticks, we can see that the GBP USD has been on a downward trend for some time now, and we can actually trace it back all the way to almost like 3 weeks. Has been in upward and downward direction. So it will sell, buy a little bit, sell, buy a little bit, sell, buy a little bit, and sell. So this alone has given me at the back of my mind that this market is going to continue going down. So I'm going to have this one at the back of my head. Now, what am I looking at? I'm looking for a reason or something to prove me wrong. That's what I'm looking at. This is the last lowest. So I'm looking for something that will prove me wrong, that no, this market is not going to go down. It's going to back upwards. So you can see this is the last high. It broke the first. So 1, 2, 3, 4. These are all supports. It broke these 4 supports to go down, all the way down. Then we have these 2. 1, 2. It got to them, it tried to create, but then it looks like it actually broke it, and then it is now correcting. What is the next point of entry? It's going to be here, right? So based on my own personal analysis right now, I think that this market is going to continue going on a downward trend. So you can see the buy was really crazy from, let's say, for the better part of this year. This market really was just going upwards. So you can see that from January all the way to let's say July has been an upwards trend for this market. But then from July, so if we had to dive really deeper, it's now going in a downward direction, right? So this is a bigger picture. This is like something to give you the bigger picture understanding of what is happening in the market. We wouldn't use it really to enter into any trade. It's just to give us a bigger picture understanding of what is happening in the market. People call me the line master, honestly, and I don't do this is this is a hammer. I don't do those things. I don't do those trading indicators where they can say if you see an M or if you see the blue, it's gonna break out and all this. I just don't do that. Me personally, I've mastered a line. That's what I've mastered, and I would want you also to master something. Be a master of something. Be a master of something. Let that sink in. All right, so I'm going back to my I'm going to change my tick into my 5 minutes. That's my favorite line. So we are back to our 5 minutes. You use here to adjust. TradeView is free. If you want to pay them money, you are more than welcome to. But in most cases, all these things you can do them for free. So I have finished all my analysis with this market. Like I told you, I have the intention to sell, right? So I'm just going to mark it down. Then we go back to our MetaTrader to decide if we are going to sell this market or we are going to buy. So let's assume we enter the trade from here. No, this candlestick is not done yet. So I'll let it finish. I'll target the next candlestick. Okay, let's assume we enter a trade from here. We don't know where it's gonna close from though, so let's see. Now there's one thing, like I said, we need to work on our discipline, right? Now there's one thing, you don't go for the entire money in the market. No, you cannot collect the entire money. You need to have a policy. What percentage of profits are you looking for? For what percentage of sacrifice are you willing to give? I do 1/10. What is 1/10? What I mean by 1/10 is that if your capital is $100, divide $100 by 10. It means that for every trade you enter, you are willing to lose 10% of that your capital. You're willing to lose 10% of that your capital for 10% for 10 times profits. Okay. I don't know the better way to explain this than to just show you. So yeah, I think I didn't explain it well. I explained it really terrible. So it's what I'm trying to really say honestly is that manage your losses. Give your capital much possibilities before it's much performance before you can deplete it. Example, if you have $100, if you are going to trade with $100, how many times should things go wrong before your $100 will be finished? That's what I mean. How many times? Okay, so if let's say you have $100, you should be willing to not lose more than $2 in a trade. More than $2 in a trade. So $2 from $100, that means you can run that trade 50 times. You should make like 50 losses before your $100 should be depleted. 50 losses before your $100 should be what? Depleted. So the window opened from here, so we're gonna mark from here. So it means that you should now have you should know where to put your stop losses, right? And then whatever stop loss you have, we have the retracting stop loss where you are making profits and you are drafting or dropping your stop losses in your profit range in case the market goes back, so that it does not give you profits, because it doesn't give you loss, because in some cases you could actually be making profits and before you realize it you are making loss and you'll be wondering what went wrong. That's market dynamics for you. So it's important for you to know really all of these things. So I'm having a $10,000 account, so I'm just going to do something like this. So this is my stop loss, and you can see the amount 750. And then in my take profits, I'm going to come to a region around here, which is 1,788. So this is my loss, this is my profit. So I'm going to log that in, and then we go, like I said, I'm just marking it. I'm just marking the region. So we're gonna log that in. Then we go back to our MetaTrader, where we can make the final decision to whether we're going to trade or not based on our indicators. So let's go back to our MetaTrader. Now this is the 17 GBP USD marketplace, and you can see that in our indicator there are a couple of things you need to learn from this indicator really. Now there are a lot of things happening, but what I want to tell you here is that these bold lines you've seen, they are just telling you, they are more like bloggers telling you what's happening in the market or what has happened in the market. That, oh, okay, anytime the market got here, there is a resistance. Anytime the market got there, there is a support. You understand? And then we have three moving averages: the purple, the orange, and then the blue. You can see we are making profits. You can see where it's going. And if you go back to our here, you can see that we are within the profit range. We are within the profit range. Good. So this is just me using my lines, by the way. So we have three moving averages. The moving average I want you to pay the most attention to is going to be the purple moving average. Now, one thing about the purple is that anytime the purple is on the top, it means the market is going to go down. And then anytime the purple is at the bottom, it means the market is going to go up. Anytime the blue and the orange cross, it means there is going to be a price reversal in the market. So when they cross, price reversal. If purple is at the top and they cross, meaning we're gonna go down. Meaning it's gonna go down. If purple is at the bottom and they cross, meaning it could go up. So these are some of the things you need to understand. There are other things like these lines and all those things, these arrows pointing downward and upwards. These are all things you will get to learn about soon or in other videos. Now you can see we are approaching a support here. So let's enter a trade. So we have a balance of 10,000 US dollars. Let's say we put 10, we bid, yeah, I think 10 may be too much. Let's say we bid $10,000. All right, let's say we bid 10 and we sell the market. Now you can see immediately I entered the sell. We have our trade here. It started with minus 260. This minus 260 is what we call the broker fee. All right, the broker fee is how much profit the platform you are using is gonna charge. That is a broker fee. Yeah, that is a broker fee. Now, how they determine that is just going to be between your ask price and the bid price. But once again, go and do your own researches to really learn about these terminologies. So when you enter a trade and you see negative at the beginning, do not feel scared. Do not feel scared. Now, I went with 10 lot sizes, right? I have $10,000. Somebody would be like, or somebody would say, no, that's too much. You should go with one. But for me, what I do is that I look at how many zeros do you have behind your capital. With $10,000, I am having 4 zeros. So you take one. So you take three out and left with one. So it means $10,000. I should not enter trade for more than 10 lot size. But if you have $1,000, it means that 10 divided by 10. So you're gonna enter with one. If you have 100, you're going to enter with 0.01. So pay very close attention to that because it is what will help you determine what lot sizes you should use. So for me, I use that $10,000, you enter with 10 lot sizes based on the market. Based on the market. Then take this and go and enter a different market, and then say Ishak said, so far as I have this balance, I will enter that or this. No, there are other things you determine that there are other things I use to determine which market do I enter what. Now, what are those things? Now, in the GBP USD, you can see that the value is having 1.31560. 1.31560. So 4 decimal points. 4 decimal points. So yeah, 4 decimal points, right? And I use that 4 decimal point to determine this entry. If we are using different markets or different currency pair, it could be different. But I don't want to bore you with that. When we get to that point, we'll also see how do you enter or how do you determine what lot size to go with in this scenario or in that scenario. Okay, now you can see that we are making profit. We are about 130 US dollars in profit. That's good. In the difference in between the MetaTrader here and then the MT trading view is that I'm looking at the market here in a 1 minute time frame, and then in the in the trade view here, we're looking at the market in a 5 minute time frame. So you can see that we are still within our profit range, and we are not close to any of the lines that I marked, the long term lines that I marked that we need to pay attention to. So we are still within our profit range. And remember I told you about the retracting take profit, right? The retracting take profit. So you can actually drag these ones and start entering in that profit range, but you can't do it from here. You can rather do it from your MetaTrader. Now, when we entered that trade, we just entered trade. We did not put our take profit and stop loss. It's what we have here, TP and SL. This is very, very important. The moment you are entering trade, I don't even advise entering trade from here. I don't advise entering trade from here, not at all, because that is not how to be professional. The best one is to go to new order, and then in the new order you take your entry price, you put your stop losses, you put your take profit, then you sell or buy, you execute it. You go to market execution, not pending order. Okay, that's the best way to do it. Now we switch to our 5 minute time frame so that we can set so you see why I said we look at a lot of things. Immediately I switch to 5 minute time frame, you can see a bold dark green here warning us, telling us that this is a verified support region. You see, so it means that I entered the trade basically based on my lines, but you see why I said that our indicators can see what you cannot see. So you see, I did not see here as a verified support, but our indicator has warned us, has told us that this is a verified support, meaning that multiple times, whenever the market is selling and it got to this point, the market has always reversed back up. So when you see something like this, it's a warning not to trade. Don't sell, don't buy. Watch and see what will happen. If it reverses back up, you follow it to the resistance point. If it breaks it down, it means that we are coming to go to the next verified support. That is when you rather enter trade. So this is a mistake trade. This is not a trade you should enter. Okay? Because see, people say trading is gambling, and I want to tell you that trading is not gambling. It's not. What we did right now is the gambling, because we traded blindly using just the lines we did in our trade view. So we traded what? Blindly. And that is why this indicator is very, very important to us, because it sees things we cannot see. And those things we cannot see is what makes the difference between we being successful in trading or not. It's these things that it sees that we cannot see is what makes other traders really successful and you not successful. Those things that it can see that you cannot see. That is what makes other traders successful, and then you are wondering why not you. You understand? So so that is that. I'm looking for my patch. I want to add a timer. Let me see. I have one I have an indicator here that gives me the time. Let me see if I can find it. Timer. Time. Okay, it seems I do not have it. Yeah, here you go. Can do timer. That's good. I like using this one a lot also. So this will all come as a bundle in our indicator if you purchase it. So you can see that this is telling us that we are having about 3 minutes 30 seconds left for this candlestick, because we're in the 5-minute window. So let's go and set our stop and take profits, right? But once again, this is what a mistake trade, because if I were to enter this trade, let's say paying attention to this, I wouldn't have entered it, right? But regardless, we are learning something here. We are trying to show you things that our indicator could avoid and things that our indicator can lead you to gains, right? So let's set our stop loss. Mostly, if you enter trade like this, the best way to set your stop loss is going to be, if you are selling, drag upwards to set your stop loss. If you are buying, drag downwards to set your take profit. So let's say we set our stop loss around, let's say here, but why is it, let's see, why is it not working? Okay, so it means that when the market retracts back to this point, you see, when you hover over it, it will give you the information. It tells you that you are going to lose 850 US dollars. And that is not wise. Remember, I say that you need to give your capital up to 50 times trial, up to 50 times losses. Okay, so if I have 10,000 US dollars, I'm going to divide it by 50. It means that we should not be losing more than 200 US dollars for this. And if you don't want to lose more than $200 in this trade, it means that even the lot size you entered with is too big. It's too big. You see, that's why I say there are a lot of technicalities that will come together to make a certain play or to lead to a certain decision. So let me just maintain 500 US dollars. If the market reverses to minus 570, I want to take my losses and I'll go with that. Then we avoid repeating the same mistake in our next trade. And then for my stop loss, I'm going to go down and I'm going to be targeting about 1,000, right? So I just set my take profits. Good. So this is my TP and I'm going to hover over it. This is 1,260. I'll just take 1,000, which means that I'm taking times 2 of my loss. So if I'm willing to lose 570 or 500 for a win of, let's say, 1,200. That's the times two, and that is a bad trade. I'm spelling it out to you. That is a bad trade. Your loss and your profit should not be 50-50, as in times two. You are going for times two to lose one, or 50%. That is a bad trade. That's a bad trade. So what should you stick to? What you should stick to right now is take your capital, divide it by 50. Whatever amount you find, that should be how much you are willing to lose for the trade or within that trade. And then for your take profit, feel free to explore, and I'll show you how we explore take profits. I would say if I'm willing to lose $200, I'm going for, let's say, 1,000, which is times 5. That is good. So I want to take 1,000 for 200. But trust me, I could take even 200, 400, 500. How? Because whenever I'm making profit, I will always drag my stop loss into the profit region. In case the market reverses back, I'm going to take my profits. In case the market reverses back, I'm going to take my profits. And that is the reason why. So we will leave this trading as it is. We will come back to see what will happen to this trade by the end of the life, and then we determine, was it really worth it not paying attention to our indicator, or were we just gambling and we got lucky? And the goal of the life that we are doing is to help you not to gamble. Trading is not a gamble. You don't need to gamble, or you don't need to be a gambler to really be a trader. Trading is a skill, it's a strategy. Trading is something that it can be learned, mastered. Okay? And people should not trade blindly. You need a second eye. You need a second eye. It means that I can safely say that no matter how good you are in trading, if somebody is there and that person have a second eye, that person could be winning more than you do. You're just gonna keep losing. You don't understand. You spend hours running analysis, hours making your own analysis, and you end up losing and you don't understand. Yep. Okay, so let's go to something else. Let's just ignore this for now. So now we're gonna keep this, we're gonna let it keep running. I don't have anything to do right now again in my trade view, because I only use trade view to determine when I'm ready to trade what forex. That's the only time when I use trade view. Now, like I told you, I'm going to be trading forex and some synthetics. So I'm going to add my favorite are these two, volatility and boom 500. But there are a lot more. If you go in here, you're gonna find boom and crash indices. You're gonna find in the crash indices, you will find boom 1,000, 100 and so on. But for me, my favorites are really boom 500, boom and crash 500 and thousands, and that's it. For the volatility, I like using the 75, so I will just stick to that. It's not one thing about trading, you don't have to explore every single commodity out there. No, whatever you are good at, you focus on it and you trade with it. So I could open a new window, but I don't want to have to load the templates or the indicator. I'm just gonna drag my volatility into the current one so that it will just apply everything by default. So I'm going to zoom out to understand where volatility is going. Okay, I'm not really impressed with where it is going right now. So let me try boom and crash. Let's see boom 500. We can see since November 17th, which is today, so the entire of today, the market has been going downwards. One good thing about this boom and crash is that they are always running 24/7, unlike the currency pairs where they have market windows. Let's see crash 1,000. So I like what I see with the boom 500. Let's see the crash 1,000. Okay, I'm not really impressed. Let's see that's boom 1,000. Let's see crash 500. Crash 500 has been buying for the most part of today, and it is going to a resistance, and it's going to it's trying to break it. If it breaks it, it will try to test the last resistance. Let me go back to hourly candlesticks to see better. So this is the highest. It's trying to go back here, but then it's been going upwards since almost 11th November. Let's see crash 1000. Okay, so not really impressed with what is happening with the crash 1000. So it means that I'm only impressed really with the boom 500 uh, and the crash 500. Yeah, so boom 500, crash 500. Volatility, not really, because you can see it's in the choke point. We have verified support, we have verified resistance. Unless you are a scalper, we have traders that are scalpers. They scalp between candlesticks. Unless you are a scalper, then you can juggle yourself around distance, and our indicator will handle it for you. You can see it's giving you all the various verified supports. I don't teach scalping, so I'm not gonna go into that. I wanna ignore this. I don't like what I'm seeing. So let's go and trade boom 500. Now, if you go to 1 minute, people fear boom and crash. Those of you who know aviator, they will tell you boom and crash is like aviator. You could be doing so well and you can get one spike. You can see all of this, one spike can clear everything. That's the boom or the crash in opposite direction. So a lot of people fear a lot of people fear trading boom and crash, but I found myself loving it. Why? Or how do I manage to love what people fear? Trust me, I'm not the only person loving it. There are other people who are loving it, um, uh, and they are making money with it, and you could be one. Now let's see. You cannot do this in the trade view. Not that I have seen. Okay, how can you? What do you say? How can you trade with this? So for me, I don't really pay attention to the spikes. They are scary. I don't really pay attention. I trade it like anything else or any other thing. So based on what I'm seeing here, it's telling me that it's gonna go down because this two is no marked. Nothing is marked here. So it's kind of telling me that it could go down. But I don't want to take that as a okay, here you go, we have a weak support. I don't want to take that as a guarantee. I want to open it in an hourly window. Okay, so if you look at it from the hourly window, you can see that since October, boom market has really been going in the upwards direction, and it retracted back here, it went back, and then it also retracted back, it could go back. So based on this, and then the purple is at the top, so the market is selling, of course. It's just telling you that what the market is doing. Based on this, for me, I would say that the buyers in this market are way more stronger than the sellers in this market. How do you trade boom and crash? Mostly has to be a long-term trading session. Long-term trading session. Keep that in the back of your mind. When I say long-term trading session, I mean that you could be in a boom and crash trading for a day, for 2 days, for 3 days. You just set your stop losses and take profits, and you just take a break. Now, somebody will say stop loss does not really work for boom and crash, because if you are selling it, pay very close attention to this. If you are selling a boom and crash, if you are selling it, it booms with you, trust me, your entire whatever will be cleared until to the point of that boom. So if you are selling, let's say from here, and you are making profit, and this just comes up, it's gonna clear all of that profit and give you negative to this point. So if your stop loss was here, it's gonna push it back up. Keep that in your mind. How do you deal with that? Or unless you want to buy, that's the only way to deal with it. Unless you want to buy. Okay, well, let's see want to buy. That's the only way you can control your stop losses. There is no any other way around it. And the same applies to the what do you call it? The same applies to the crash. Unless you're gonna sell, there is nowhere to stop loss for the crashing. Unless you're gonna sell. If it crashes with you, it could push your stop losses to whatever point. And if your capital is not big, it could clear your capital for you to surprise you that your capital will just be no more. Your capital will just be RIP. Keep that at the back of your mind. Okay. Enough of that. Let's I don't even like what I'm seeing here. This is also a choke point for me. I don't like it. You may be wondering, but market is happening. Why you not liking it? It's part of the discipline that I say by following this live streaming, you will develop. It's not every marketing or market that you should trade. It's not every market that you must enter. You see that it's going down, so you want to follow it. No. Run the analysis. Let the indicator guide you before you enter any trade. Else, you will smile at the wrong side of your mouth because you would wish you had listened. Now, if we go back, you can see that in our current trade that we were doing, our current trade here is doing well. We have 650 in profit already. And there was a line here that says verified support. And it looked like the line is gone. Let's go to 5 minutes. Yep, the line is gone. So it means that we are going to the next verified support. So of course, no wonder why people call me the line master. So it looked like this time around my line really did well, even though I will still tell you that you gambled because it could have gone wrong. Because in the previous sessions, this market is all about what happened previously in most cases. 90% of people trade with this based on what happened previously. And of course, there are politics, geopolitics, and news. Some people don't even want to trade this kind of pairs because news and geopolitics affect them. Keep that at the back of your mind also. So we are going to this next verifier support. Now, remember I spoke to you about the retracting stop loss. Now that I'm making a profit of almost 600 and something, I could actually take this and bring it inside my profit region. So it means that when this market decides to go back up, you see, when this market decides to say, I don't want to, you see, 200, right? I don't want to help you anymore. I want to go against you. It means that I will not lose money. I'm actually going to gain 320 US dollars. Somebody could say, well, let me take this. That's fine. If you get a warning like this blue that you are seeing is a warning. Why? Anywhere this blue come, there has been a price reversal. You see? Price reversal in the past. So this blue is just warning me that the market could turn. It's just warning me. Does it always give you accurate warning? No. It's just alerting you that there could be. As to when, we all don't know. But it's just looking at a whole lot of metrics in the market to warn you that this place, I feel like the market could reverse. But as to when, we don't know. So now that I'm already retracting my stop loss in the profit region, I know that if this warning comes through and the market goes back up, I could have earned that 600. That's right. Or I could wait for it to reach the 1,000. That's right. Or I could retract my loss to a profit region. That's also right. So it means that if I got this wrong or I didn't listen to this, it means that I'm not going to lose money. I will still get a 320 US dollar profits. Imagine if I enter these multiple positions, because sometimes you can enter even 5 positions based on your capital. It means that I'm going to have 300 times 5, 1,500 US dollars. But when it goes wrong, it means that you're going to lose times 5. So pay close attention to that. Don't be greedy in trading. Pay very close attention to that. Okay. All right. So we need to pay attention to our time. I promise this video is not going to last longer than an hour. Let me check how many minutes in are we. How many minutes in are we in our first trading session or first trading day one? Day one of trading with IBGFX. Kindly don't forget to subscribe, like, and follow, comment, so that we can know that you really enjoy watching this and we can meet in the day two. Okay, we are... God, I have no idea where I can find how many minutes. Okay, we are 15 minutes in this. 15 minutes. That's not bad at all. So we have about 10 minutes left to end the live. So it means that today I'm not able to trade my boom and crash because I'm not impressed with what I'm seeing in the markets. So I'm not trading it. We're gonna have to meet in day two. You see what happened? You see what happened? The warning that I didn't pay attention to has actually come through, and the market touched my stop loss and my trade has been closed. So instead of making over 600 and something dollars, I made only $300. But hey, I did not lose. I made profits, which is right here. 320 US dollars in profits for a single trade. I did not lose. I made profits. That's the most important keyword here. So you see, our indicator does not only rely on these bold lines. There are these little things that warn you. This is the first warning. This one that makes the line purple. That's the first warning. That hey, it could reverse, but not a strong indicator. But the blues are always the strong indicators. But even they could be wrong. So I'm not giving you like a kill shot here, as in this indicator is 100% accurate. No, this is a second eye or a third eye. This is a third eye to let you see the things you could easily miss in the market. Okay, so we are done with this market. We've made 320 US dollars in trading. We still have about 10 minutes left. I'm going to check again to see if I could find a little bit of trading signal. Okay, so this market looks like this. The purple is at the top, it means it's selling, but this have crossed, so it's gonna buy. So I'm going to drop my lot size to 1 and I'll buy this market. Why am I buying this market and why did I drop it to 1? This one is 6 digits. 6 digits. That's why I bought 1. 6 digits. So I bought 1 because I realized that we are far from our support level and we are not close to our resistance level yet. And remember, this are warning. You can see we just got our first warning, the red one. It means that the market could reverse. Okay, so I had a confidence to just enter in this because I see that we are not within a choke point. Looking at the 1 minute window. So remember to always set your stop losses and take profits. This blue and orange have crossed is mean the price reversal, so they are going to try to join or touch the purple so that the market could either decide to go up or to go down. Okay, but I don't want to wait for that because I have gotten a warning here of this red telling me that the market, there is a pressure from the sellers. They want to sell volatility. Okay, so you set your stop loss and set your take profit and stick to it, and make sure you retract your stop loss the moment you start making profits. So I just have about 10 minutes left to go off from the live, so I'm going to, by the next candlestick, if I see I'm making losses, I'm going to close it. If I'm making profits, I'm going to take the profits and then we call it a day. So let's pay attention to the next candlestick. Let's see how this candlestick is going to close. Very soon our website will go live. IBGFX.pro will go live. At the moment we are not live yet. It's still under construction. Like I say, we have a target of up to 10 trading days before we can start selling anything to anyone. We have to prove how good these indicators are before we will even sell it to you, because when you buy them, you have to also be sure and confident in whatever you buy or whatever you bought, right? So we are making loss in volatility, but I'm not really worried that much because once again, I'm not around a resistance or support points. Even though new resistance and support points could be formed always, I'm not really disturbed. So let me set my take profit around the last, almost close to the last resistance point. So I'm taking my profit here, and then if we break, so you see this stop loss, this resistance, this support, the green one, if we break this this resistance, because I entered with just one lot size, so I'm not really bothered. If we break this support level, it means it's gonna continue going downwards, so I'm gonna take my losses. So I'm doing 50-50 with this. I'm willing to lose 1,600 or 1,700, so it is 50-50, right? It's because I'm doing this confidently based on what I see in my indicators. But I have 10 minutes. So it means that if within my 10 minutes I'm not making profit, I'm gonna close this and just go and sleep. Tomorrow is either I lose 1,600 or I win 1,700. You understand? Else, within my 10 minutes, if I'm making profit, I'm gonna take whatever amount I have made and I'm gonna call it a day, and then we'll have to meet in the day two. We'll have to meet in the day two, trading day two, yeah. So we are still making loss 280 now, 200 and negative. So we are still making loss, but it's not the end of the world. Okay, so let's look at one or a few things before we call it a day. Let's zoom in so that I can explain a little bit of certain things. We have another thing in the package that lets you understand the supply and demand, that lets you understand the supply and the level of the supply and demand as a part of our packages. You see how it's going? You see how it's going? It just lets you know. You see the line here? Everything above is our buyers, and anything below it is our sellers. So this tells you who have strength in the markets. And sometimes it could look like the buyers have exhausted all their strength. It's time for the sellers, and then boom, buyers are back. Example here. They've exhausted it and then they're back. Exhausted it and then they're back. Exhausted it and then they are back. And then now that exhausted it, the sellers really took over. And then here it also looked like they're exhausting it and then they back. And now we are almost repeating the same pattern. You see, they have exhausted it and this is trying to now go back. So you have first red, second red, first red, second red. So let's see, will it try to create a new region in sell, or it will go back to the region of buy? So some of these things are important to pay attention to them because they let you understand who is stronger in the market than who. Okay, so we are still waiting for our time to reach. Let's see how many minutes now. Okay, so it says 58 minutes. So I'm going to take profit in any moment from now, and then we call it a day. So let me bring my cursor around the close trade so that I can close the trade if I see profit quickly. Don't forget to like, comment, and share, because you might not know who is out there that want to trade, but they don't have this type of resources that we use to make trading decisions. Thank you. So like, comment, and subscribe, of course. So this is a tug of war. A resistance point is just being created. A weak resistance point is just being created, which is not a good sign because it means that the market is really trying to go downwards. But still, fingers crossed. If the blue and orange try crossing again before meeting the purple line, then God help us because another price reversal before the purple was able to even come down. So God help us. We are just watching. Somebody may feel, well, I'm gonna lose 1,600. Let me just leave the trade. Um, I want to tell you that another reason or another factor why people lose money in trading is fear. One of the biggest factors that make people lose money in trade, I repeat, is fear. So as you are doing all these trades, as you are following us on IBGFX, one of the things you are learning is how to deal with fear no matter what. How to stick to your how to um how to stick to your trading plan regardless. Yep. So that's one of the things you are learning here. How to stick to your trading plans, how to not let fear get the better of you. Because like I said, one of the reasons why a lot of people lose money in trading is due to fear. And you wouldn't want to be one of those people. So it's very important you are careful. Don't let fear get the better of you. It's important that you are careful not to let fear get the better of you. We are still making losses. We have a blue indicator here telling us that could be a reversal, so really fingers crossed. Yeah, so sorry about that distraction. We are still waiting for a profit so that we can call it a day. Otherwise, I'm just gonna have to leave it like this. Okay, so it looks like it's still trying to get back to that region. So nothing to fear. Nothing to fear. We are still just waiting for some profits, and then we will just call it today because, like I said, the goal was 1 hour. We are approaching that negative. So it looks like it's either we lose that $1,600 or we gain something. So we are going back to this. We're going back to this. We are going to stick to this plan, like I said, until we break that verified supports. Nothing's gonna happen. And another thing also here for you to know is that when we touch this, I'm gonna put a mark here. When we touch this verified supports and then the market tries to reverse up to this point, I'm going to what? Reverse with the market. What do I mean by reverse with the market? It means that as the market is buying, I'm also buying. So as I'm covering the loss, or as I'm recovering the loss, I am also gaining some profits. So that line I put there is just to mark it for me to remember that when the market is trying to go back up from a downward trend, I will go back up with the markets. So that's just by the way. But I only do that if we touch the verified support and it tries to reverse. If we touch the verified support and it breaks it, it means that we are going to touch our stop loss and then we've lost 1,700 or 600 US dollars. Okay. That is what that would mean. Yeah, so just keep notice of that. It looks like our trading is going to take longer because I don't want to close the trading with any open trade. I want to close the trade before we close the live. So we have to stick around just a little longer. So we are just watching and waiting to either take a loss or, yep. So I didn't even need to end that sentence. So what happened here is, let's see, there's a good example. So what happened here is that, yep, you can see the verified is gone. So I'm gonna go with that market because the verified is gone. So we go with the market. Okay, so I'll explain what happened as I'm going with the market because the verified support is gone. Now, what happened here was that when we were going to enter this trade, we were having verified support and then there was no any resistance at the top. But then we were halfway or almost after the supply was done. You see, we didn't add this. The time I entered the trade, we didn't add this indicator that told us that our supply is almost what exhausted, right? Even here you can see that it says even the sell is almost exhausted. So all things being equal, I mean this is almost exhausted. So we didn't see that one. Now we ended the trade, it was doing well, and then boom, we are going downwards. Remember I said that anytime the purple is at the top, market is gonna sell. But then when the orange and blue cross, it indicates a price reversal. Example, from here, it indicated that it's gonna buy and it bought some, just that it didn't go to the limit we really wanted. And then here it also crossed, indicating a sell, and it sold all the way here, which gave us a negative 1,700 US dollars, and it cleared that resistance that was here. Sorry, that support that was here that could have pushed it back upwards, it cleared it away. So now where is the market going? It's gonna go to the next. If we go to 1 hour, you realize that it still have a verified support. So it's gonna try going to the next line. It's gonna try going to this line. If it break everything here, that's a long way for us to go. We're gonna go all the way down to whatever is here. You understand? So it means that in as much as we rushed the trade, we were actually also not relying solely on the indicator because we didn't add this supply and demand, first of all. And then secondly, we only traded because the orange and blue have crossed and we were waiting for too much profits. And we didn't get that too much profits. You see, if we entered, and unfortunately we didn't enter after it crossed. So it crossed from here. Let's say we enter here, we could have taken our profit from here. But when we entered here, it was the last candlestick for us, so unfortunate. So that's something to pay attention to. And you know, when it was selling and it crossed here, it means it's gonna sell. We should have also take the advantage from when it crossed to also sell with the market. But we're hoping, that's another mistake sometimes we make, we're hoping that it could reverse. But like I said, as part of the discipline you have to build, you have to believe in your strategy. So first you set your stop loss and then your take profit, sometimes you just have to wait. You may say, well, sometimes when I set my stop loss, the what do you call it? The market will intentionally go and touch my stop loss. After I touch my stop loss, then it will reverse. That's trading for you. Sometimes we don't know if my people say juju. We don't know if juju is in it or not, but sometimes that's how it is. We don't know why it happens like that. But some will say, oh, it's the corporate individuals who are putting money against you, so it's like you're trading against the corporate individual, blah blah. With this indicator, you are not trading against the corporate individuals, not at all. With this indicator, what you are doing is you're actually trading with them because it gives you that third eye, like I say, the third eye that lets you see what is happening that you might miss. So it's very important you really pay attention to the indicator, and it's going to take you some days to really understand when to use an indicator or where to use an indicator, right? It's going to take some trying, some testing for some time to really get used to that. So just pay attention to these things. You cannot master everything within a day. It's going to take some days. It's going to take some days to fully master everything about the indicator. So we are still waiting for what's gonna happen. We are still waiting for what is going to happen. So it's important you are taking note of what's working, what did not work, what are the mistakes, how do you avoid those mistakes. All those little nitty-gritties, they are important. All those things are important that you pay attention to them, because it's a combination of a lot of things that will make you a successful trader. So right now, what are we doing? Like I said, because the resistance was broken, if it broke and buy, I would have bought with it, but it's broken. So I'm just following the market trend right now. I'm following the trend because I am thinking it's gonna break the larger resistance. So you can see we have 5-minute resistance here, so it's gonna try to touch or break it. We have 15 minutes, even up to 1 hour resistance. So that's the one I'm just following. So if I make my money back, I'll take it and then I'll cancel out. It will cancel out that negative 1,700. That would be great. If I make more than that, that will be even greater. So let's see if we can do that. We are almost there. So we have 1,400. We have 2 minutes, and we have a resistance. Probably this support is the one that will make the reversal. So I'm really targeting getting back my money. Yeah, so let's see if we get that, then we're gonna call it a day. I think it was 1,000. Let me check my history. How much was it? It was 1,700. Okay, so we are targeting that, but that's even greedy to do. Honestly, you're making 1,300 already, and you're not taking it. That's a greedy thing to do. So I'm telling you not to do that. Sometimes another reason why people lose money in trade is because they want to revenge. You can never win against the market. You can never take a revenge against the market and always win. No, you can never revenge against the markets. What I did right now, I did it based on experience. Yeah, I used my experience. As a complete beginner, it's going to be difficult for you to be able to make this type of call that now you're going to enter. You're going to follow the market. Yeah, it takes some experience to do that. Not all of us can really explain it. And me waiting for that money that I lost, like I told you, it's a big gamble because the market could have reached that 1,600 and decide not to break it and decide to go back upwards and give you negative 10,000. So it's very important to pay attention to these things. Really important. One thing you might ask is that why did I enter two lot size instead of one? I used one lot size and I lost that money. Why did I enter two lot size? So because I saw the bigger window, I just had a feeling that it might not really break it, right? So how do I quickly recover my losses before it tried to reverse? That is why, or that is how I decided to enter the two lot size. I was actually even trying to enter three, but it wasn't allowing me because of my what do you call it? My exposure, yeah, or margin. That's why it didn't allow me to enter. So look like the market is reversing. If it reversed, we are cooked, completely cooked. And that will show you a very good example why you should not take revenge on the market, but to rely on the indicators. So we are still waiting. We are waiting. No fear. Fear is a contagious disease in trading. Wait, no fear. Unfortunately, our live is taking longer than expected. Unfortunately, our live is taking longer than expected because we are waiting for that sweet positive. 3 more minutes left. Push. We need more push. We need more push. Push. Push, 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 push. A battle between the bulls and the bears. There must and there should be only one winner. We want to be with the winners because we believe in our instincts. Though verified support is a big warning. I always tell you, anybody using these indicators, always pay attention to the support and the resistance. In most cases, do not trade against them. If this market decided to go up, that was me trading against the supports. In most cases, only wait one day break before you trade. That's why I told you that the first trade I entered is because it broke that resistance for the 1 minute window. But you should have actually checked also the 5 minute window before you really go even with that. But I'm still confident I'm going to recover that. So we're just going to have to wait. So it touched almost 1,600. I'm just waiting for 1,700. Then I can call it a day. Yeah. Then in our next trade, we can really review what happened, what are the things that went wrong, what are the things that went right, how are we learning by doing, yeah, and all those things. So we're almost there. It's just gonna take some few seconds and I'm sure we'll get it. Okay, just set a stop, take profits also, so that if it hits that point, it will automatically close for you, right? So if you're following this, make sure you set your take profits at that amount, 1,700, don't forget. We are still waiting. Look at the market just reversing. So we are still gonna wait. You see, we've gotten our second warning also. That that blue arrow pointing upwards, that's our second warning to pay attention to the market and what's happening in the markets. That's the second warning. And remember what happened the previous one after we ignored that warning. Yeah, so that's another warning in the indicator. It tells you that could be a price reversal, so you need to close your positions and wait for that. But like I said, sometimes these are not, they're just telling you based on the previous data as in what happened before. Like this happens, this oil indicator is acting, like I said, it's acting like your third eye, telling you, forecasting things to you based on what happened in the past to help you make informed decisions. It doesn't do the trading for you. It helps you become a successful trader, a professional trader, and a trader that makes the trading decisions or take positions based on informed or based on data, right? So we've gotten our warning, but I just want to let you know, or I just want to let you see how stubborn traders behave and how that lead them to lose losses sometimes. So I'm just acting like that stubborn trader today because I'm gonna want to make back my 1,700 US dollars. And it could go wrong and I might end up losing everything. And what happened after that? Lesson learned. So that you don't do that, so that you don't make that mistake. And even if it goes right and we've gotten our money back, I'm telling you not to take revenge against the markets. That is not always ideal. So the things you could do, I'm doing it for you. We are still waiting. We are still waiting. In case you are just joining us, don't forget to like, comment, and share. This entire life is an exercise we are taking to test our trading indicators that I've been using for some years now. Let you decide for yourself if this is something you need, if this is something that would make your trading better, right? So I just closed the trade with 1,800. So I got lucky. That's all. So 1,734. I hope you can see it there. So it means that we got lucky. But like I said, all the things I wouldn't advise you to do. Do not take revenge against the market. I'm repeating that because it's really important, because in most cases, go and ask any successful, any trader out there that have made loss in the past. Ask them why did they lose. It's either they got scared and left before they should leave. It's either they let paranoia control their decisions. You can see this market is actually still going downwards. So I could actually make 2,000 even by now, but come on, that's normal. The money I just lost, I've gotten the money back, right? And we are still in profit today. We've made a profit of about 300 and something dollars. So that's still cool for me. That's still cool with me. Um uh this is just our trading day one using the indicator. So using the indicator, we've made our first trade, we made 320 US dollars. Our second trade, we made a mistake and we lost $1,700, and then we came back to that mistake and we recovered our money with some coins, so 1,730 US dollars. So yeah, we're gonna call it a day right now until we meet in the trading day two. Thank you for joining me. Or if you are watching this not on the live, probably after the live is already done. I want to say thank you for making the time to watch us or watch me test this indicator to see how good it is. And then don't forget to subscribe, because we are going to be launching the trading day two within the week also. So it's gonna be Mondays and Thursdays mostly. So the trading day two is going to be coming on Thursday, the same time. So if you're interested in seeing us trade using this indicator in real time, and then testing or showing you things you should do, things you shouldn't do, and all those things, all those stuffs, do subscribe, like, and share. You see our market after we traded here. If you remember, we were in this market and we took profit here. It came here, gave us almost like 600 and something. It get back here and gave us profit here. And you can see that if I didn't put that retracting stop loss or stressing stop loss, you could see that we could have actually lost all our money. So these are some of the great lessons we learned today. They are great. I believe if you pay very close attention, you can make good use of these lessons to improve your trading experience also, or trading skills. So